Yeah.
Now we are.
Perfect timing, John. We did that perfectly.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another fantastic virtual tasting with us at Becker Vineyards. I believe this is week 57 now, and we are trying 3 of our fabulous Dolcetto Reserve wines. I was really excited to join in this. We're doing the 2015, which was the first year we produced a Dolcetto Reserve, and then our 2017 and our 2018. So really excited to get into these wines. We have a fabulous panel this evening. We of course have our owner and proprietor, Dr. Richard Becker. We have our winemaker, John Leahy. We also have our assistant winemaker and enologist, Rachel Fanning. We have Bobby Totten, our assistant tasting room coordinator, and Jet Wilmoth, our grower for all 3 of these fabulous vintages of Dolcetto. So really excited to get things started and get trying these wines. We're going to start with the 2018 vintage. So pour some in your glass if you haven't already, and take a sip and a swirl and a sniff in not that order, and John will get us going.
Thank you for such a fabulous introduction, Rebecca. We've missed you, by the way, for multiple weeks. Slacker.
I was taking a little bit of a break. John, you know, I do have to say last week I ran away and I went and I got to see my parents and my sister for the first time in over a year, and it was glorious.
Good.
I really enjoyed getting to do that. So glad to be back.
We're glad you're back, and I can hardly wait to have your mom on again for more stories. Mother's Day's coming up. That's all I'm saying. Well, everyone, welcome to another episode of As Becker Turns. So, Doc, would you like to lead us in with a couple of words, sir?
The only words are 57 weeks of fighting this battle, and just still in our hearts, minds, prayers, everything for all the people who are fighting it, people who've suffered from it, friends and colleagues and so forth. And you know, we're approaching 60% vaccination in Texas. One way to think about the vaccine is, you know, don't think about it for you, but think about it for people you might protect if you weren't able to deliver this virus to them. You would never do it knowingly. But if you've been vaccinated, then you don't carry it to the next person. So it's just a thought. But we need to get our country, our state out of this terrible dilemma. Anyway, but on the other side of the coin, it's been 57 weeks of going out on the balcony in New York at 6 o'clock and talking to our neighbors and toasting them and playing musical instruments. And for me, it's been just a thrill to taste through these wines that our team has produced. And John, Rachel, my hat's off to you. Thank you.
So we appreciate it. And I can't speak for Rachel, but I've been having a glorious time making these wines. Rachel, is it a bit better pulling a loose tooth? What?
So we've had some fun moments, huh?
Yeah, I think we have a few.
Maybe a little bit of food. We drink a lot of coffee.
Yeah. Oh yes, a lot of coffee. I just got the new shipment in, so we're getting ready for harvest. Unfortunately, now Jet told us, so I think it's going to be an 8-pound instead of a 10-pound harvest for coffee. So, but Jet, I am very excited, sir, for you joining us, and I wanted to say before we get going, thank you for taking the time, and really enjoyed our visit this last weekend. So, where is he? Is he's still on? Tell me he's still here. Oh, he is.
You want to see magic?
Yes.
Watch, ready?
Yes.
Perfect.
That's what happened to my grapes. Some of them were there, and then they went away.
Hey. No, we can't laugh or we'll cry, I guess, or we can't. We should be crying. I don't know.
It's better to laugh than to cry, right?
But I did enjoy the visit to the Beckers and all of y'all that made it. Yeah, that was special. Always is.
That's for us too, Jet.
Well, so Jet, I want, since it's the 18 we're starting with, and then we're going to go backwards. I'm going to hold off on all this good stories until we get to 15, because 15 is my favorite story year. But just to let you know, since it's been a few weeks since you've been on with us, we're going to go through all of these, and then I want you to rank them 1, 2, and 3. Which one, is your favorite? top of the pile, so to speak. And just to let all the panelists know, we will be talking about food. So it seems to come to shock every week when I ask you. And no, Rebecca, duck is not appropriate.
Duck is always appropriate.
I know. Rachel, since I'm going to get in trouble if I keep talking, would you like to lead us through the first of the sensory on the 18?
I would love to. Okay, so as we've been sitting and chatting, I have taken a couple of moments to swirl, sniff, and sip each one of these just to see the differences, especially as they're opening up a little bit. And this 18 is, of course, it's all dolcetto, right? So it's got some similarities across the board. But this 18 is, to me, a little wildly different. It's got a lot of darker notes to it. The cherry and the raspberry are consistent throughout, but this one's got so much more of a spicier, a darker, oaky note to it.
Right.
I also wonder if they just cleaned the room I'm in. It smells very woody in here.
Well, no, when I was decanting, I noticed that too. I think tonight's going to be an awesome opportunity to show that every vintage year is different, especially with this varietal. And that's what kind of got me excited about this after I opened them. So you're right. I love the dark notes in here. So Rebecca, what are you picking up in the 18?
So I have to mute and unmute because I'm in the same room with my dogs tonight. So bear with me. I 100% agree with Rachel on the dark notes. I also get a really nice perfume. It's not floral, but it's a more of a perfume aromatic to it. With the fruit, but just a little bit elevated, I guess, more than that. And I really am getting the spice that Rachel was talking about on the back end, but I can't identify what that spice is. Rachel, do you have a better handle on what that spice is?
Yeah, I'm hoping it opens up a little bit more and I can find it within the next 30 minutes.
I've only had mine open for about 20 minutes, so it's still opening.
Swirl hard.
Swirl harder. Open sooner.
How about Bobby?
Oh yeah. No, we're going to ignore Bobby. He was so nice last week. So Bobby, what do you think?
I'm getting some vanilla on the nose. Definitely getting a little kind of a hint of a vanilla bean kind of extract, kind of a characteristic in there. Some dark, not plummy notes, like a deep dark plum.
Mm.
And then that spice, I'm like, I don't know if it's a clove. I don't think it's a clove or a
Nutmeg.
Hey, I'm getting a fair amount of rue, not the toasted flour, but the herb rue in here, which is kind of odd to me because it's something I don't normally associate with a lighter red. But
Cardamom, John.
Yeah, cardamom. Yep,
Mhm.
little green
Yeah.
cardamom.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
You too, Jet?
It too? I don't know cardamom from, no. Have nothing to compare. I don't know.
Well, you did say nutmeg.
It's very hard, Jet, to evaluate wine on the beach in the breeze. I mean, everything blows away.
There's a bit much wind here.
that ocean air.
All I'm going to say is that if we see somebody in a bikini walk behind him,
Yay! Yay!
Jet, sometimes the tanning lotion, the smell from the tanning lotion gets in the way of the wine too. So exactly.
No, but I do get that nutmeg. I do definitely get that nutmeg.
There's like someone in a bikini walk behind me. I'm in trouble. It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Gary. Thanks. Somebody just said that I need a shirt just like yours, Jet. I think I might have one or two laying around that might.
Pretty sure you have one.
Yeah. Not exactly like that. I mean, that's a pretty special shirt right there. So, and Gary just said my calendar says today is Cinco de Lehi. So,
Why do you do this to me, Gary? Do you know what I have to put up with now?
exactly. Now I think we're going to make it a celebration. So before we get too sidetracked, Jet, I need you to tell me the story of the 2018 harvest.
Ay.
Ay. I want to make you live every excruciating moment.
How about I don't remember? How about that?
How about I don't believe you? How about if you don't remember, we're going to post a certain picture of you and your brother at a certain fair.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so I'm gonna help prod you along, Jet. So 2017, beautiful banner year of harvest, best we could ever hope for, we think. So coming off the 17, 18 was not all that 17 was. I don't
No.
think it was a bad year.
No,
Lower
it wasn't a bad year at all. It was kind of a nice follow-up.
I was hoping that would maybe spur.
Trying to remember. Seemed like there were thunderstorms. We were dodging storms.
We did towards the tail end there. We
Yeah.
were. Yeah.
And cab was right in the middle of that,
Yep.
meaning a little later harvest. Yeah,
Well,
that's all I got.
As far as the culture of Dolcetto, what have you noticed over the last 6 years of growing it? What are some of the highlights and maybe lowlights of actually dealing with the grape itself?
The Dolcetto has been a blessing. I love the way it harvests compared to like Merlot. Merlot, well, you have to get very aggressive with the shaker bars. Dolcetto, it's not like that at all. We dial it down on the shaker bars, and if the fruit is exactly right, they just pop off and it leaves the rachis on the vine, and so you get a lot of berries. Just one, I mean, the machine loves it. Doesn't rattle your teeth quite as much as like when you're in the Merlot. Merlot, you gotta really get aggressive with it. And we try to go slow enough because we're getting a volume of fruit that we allow the fans to pull off the mog, the leaves mainly, so that we deliver good, clean fruit. And I like the Dolcetto because it seems to be it matures pretty evenly.
Yeah, I've noticed that.
That's a blessing.
Yeah. So what about berry size compared to like Cab or Merlot or Zen?
Oh yeah, berry size can be grandioso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, the thing that always struck me is that it's almost the size of a table grape, like Red Flame. That big.
It can be, yes,
Yeah.
given a certain year, and I believe 18 was one of those.
But it allowed us to make some pretty nice rosé in 18 because Rachel, if I do believe, if I remember correctly, we saigned this like twice to make some room in there to get the concentration that we were trying to go for. So, we were able to draw off a fair amount of juice and increase that skin to juice ratio, which I think the results are in the glass. But I think Dolcetto makes a great rosé or an adjunct to a rosé, but every year it comes in, the color in the skin almost lies to you. It looks like it should make a much lighter color than it does, and it ends up really coloring up nicely. So
I know in the bins sometimes when you catch the light just right, you're like, was that an optical illusion? It was almost translucent, but when I see it in the glass, I'm like, okie dokie, thank you very much.
Yeah, well,
Just the way the light hits it, and so for it to have that much color later is awesome. So
Well-
does that speak to how easy it is for the enzymes to pull the color out of the skins?
well, certainly yes. But the other thing is the tannic structure of Dolcetto there's enough tannin in there that it allows it to absorb the oxygen and let the rest of it do its job at color stability. So, I mean, there's a lot of structure in Dolcetto that you wouldn't think was there. But you taste those. Rachel, you remember tasting those grapes and just how they were sweet but very dry in the mouth at the same time. It's an odd thing for me to chew into a grape and be that dry and that sweet, the
Right.
tannic structure. So that's what I love about the Dolcetto. And I've always wondered, we've never gotten to really just sit down and talk just about Dolcetto. And yet it's one of my favorite grapes that you produce. And I love your cab, and I'm a big fan of the Merlot, and the Zinfandel is coming out, I promise. But the Dolcetto, baby, when this gets in a glass, it's just beautiful. So, Doc, Dolcetto, and why did you decide at 3:00 in the morning in 2015 we should have Dolcetto?
That's because Brett didn't answer the phone, and
Well, he's not here. We can't blame him.
but I did. So, anyway, I got a call from some guy that lives apparently on the beach in Cancun, and,
Texas.
and he's got his vineyard there under some kind of a tropical tree. It's really nice. And but what I want to say about this, I'm just thinking about the Dolcettos I've tasted in Italy, and it's rare to have Dolcetto that's this good in Italy. It always is awkward and acidic, and it never has this wonderful fruit note and richness. And all three of these wines are just, if they came around and poured this for us in a restaurant in a little town somewhere in Italy, we would say, my goodness, that's why we came. It's really nicely done. Truly is.
So it's a good thing we poured this wine from a little town in West Texas.
That's right. It's going to make the hail go away, I hope.
So a lot of you, two people have asked where Jet is. And so a lot of you don't realize that in far West Texas, there's oceanfront property.
Well, there has been, but it was 11,000 years ago. I mean, all that sand.
A little more than 11,000.
Much. No. 11,000 years ago, the last time it came through.
Okay. Now
I was there. John, I was
serious here.
Serious. Yeah.
Eyewitness.
Yeah.
So, well, how did you guys cope with that, Doc?
Well, we went north, and it worked.
Yeah, Rachel is shaking her head. Oh my God.
I mean, Rachel just went to Iowa. The Gulf goes to Iowa every 22,000 years, and last time it was there was 11,000 years ago. Now it's going back, and and we have shrimp. So this is good.
Everybody gets their turn.
Yeah. Let's build upon the story.
Yeah.
So
I have a question for Jet. Jet, why did you pick Dolcetto to plant?
They told me it was the little sweet one.
It is a little
No, Jet, I told you that after you planted it.
No, I looked at where it's grown, and I thought, well, why not here? We've got excellent conditions as long as it's not hailing. We've had, this is a perfect storm we're in. Goodness, we've had the horrendous winter, a late frost. Now we've had some hail, but Dolcetto just seemed like it would fit here. And for several years, it's been cranking out wonderfulness.
Mm-hmm.
And it's taking it on the chin. Well, all of my grapes are like, what in the heck is going on?
right.
It's just horrendous what's happening. We had hen's egg size hail all the way down to pea size, English pea, and not black-eyed peas. Well, it's about the same size. It's just not too handy on the. I couldn't help but I shed a tear or two after I got out there and saw it.
Yep.
Still pretty fresh, but I've put the fungicides on already. Yesterday was a beautiful day to get that done, so hopefully we dodge any serious, like disease or anything like that might be lurking. And so Dolcetto will continue to provide us with the fruit necessary to sustain life.
Exactly.
Great. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I've got a question about the Dolcetto. So does it traditionally have a very thin skin on that fruit?
It's a medium. It's not thin like Zen.
Okay.
It's not thick like maybe Merlot.
Mhm.
But it's good enough. It's got enough thickness there that, like I say, the color shows up.
Right.
I think maybe the reason we have so much color is our elevation here, and those skins darken up that's just what they do. The sunlight causes it.
Nice.
So, Jed, another question. Some strange dude named Robert Becker just asked if it's on any kind of special rootstock.
Oh, good question. I believe that's on 1103P.
Okay, so Paulson.
Yeah.
So next time he asks a question like that, what you're supposed to say is, yes, I believe it has roots.
Yeah.
So 1103P.
Oh, and I missed Will. If Will's listening, Will Becker was supposed to come visit me, the first, and now he's not. I don't know.
Yeah,
Well, we're working on early June, so hopefully he's going to come back, and we're going to see. But that'll be the time to really see how we're going to do with the freeze and the hail, and
Yeah.
see where, So
Yes, sir.
He'll be a bright ray of light if he comes.
What about hail in y'all's area? Have you had any?
not yet.
We had terrible hail in Bernie, but didn't quite get down into San Antonio. And John's missed our vineyard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Awesome.
we've been pretty lucky so far. So knock
It
on
was in
wood.
the forecast for Saturday, but it never
Yeah.
came to play.
Yeah, oddly enough, I saw this strange picture from Saturday at the winery, and there were no wine cases in my warehouse, but there were 19 cars in there.
know what you're talking about, John. Seems weird.
Right?
Oh, so any other questions about the 2018 or any comments, panelists? Anybody want to make any comments? Rachel, about the 18?
I would say the only thing is we're talking about the hill and the stages of the grape growing right now. We might want to explain what the size of the tiny little bitty grape clusters are and why hell is so damaging right now. Jet, how big are they? Are they like this big?
The berries themselves, or the clusters are like maybe 3 inches long.
Mhm.
So one hit of a hen's egg and that knocks the whole cluster out.
Well, the hen's eggs come and knocked off some spurs. It cut some gashes in the bark. It wasn't friendly at all. The hail that does the most damage is the English pea size, because there's usually there's a lot more of them. And I think that's what they experienced south of Brownfield, southwest of Brownfield. So the little berries themselves are the size of the head of a pin,
Yeah.
the little bead, that might be too big. They're in the
Tiny, so the hail comes in and just does so much damage.
Yeah.
They're just trying to start. getting out there to be able to survive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bloom is in another week, 2 weeks, and the tenderest stage is where they're at right now, and that's the reason disease is so important to get the fungicides on immediately.
I want to ask pardon me. I want to ask Bobby and Rachel too. This wine is really beautiful, don't you think? Really delicate and subtle and just and Bobby, how have we done? Did we enter this wine competitions? How is it done? How are these wines?
Oh, these wines are phenomenal. I mean, we definitely always get multiple awards, but let me see.
This one won gold.
This one won gold?
Yeah,
San
this
Francisco?
got a gold in the San Francisco Chronicle.
That's not a bad accolade for a Dolcetto from Tokyo, Texas. I mean, how about that?
So
I believe it also won the silver at the Houston Livestock Show, didn't it? And the Texas Class Champion.
Yeah,
This was mine.
just I love it. That's all I can say. John, Jed, are you paying attention to the 1593 ordinance about the harvesting on St. Matthew's Day? Do you have St. Matthew's Day in Tokyo, or
No,
is it just you do?
no,
None?
no, we need to get it, but I don't know anything about it.
That's what I think too.
It's okay, Jet. So basically, Doc and a couple of his colleagues, basically, they petitioned the Italian government back in the 1500s to come up with
1593. 1593.
So, yeah. I don't know, Jet. The Dolcetto, when does it normally come off?
September 21st.
No, it didn't come off that late.
Well, it should have.
I thought the Dolcetto came off like either very late August or early September.
Early September, I think,
Yeah. So
in 18.
nice.
Okay.
So I was just noticing that this got gold medal 2021 San Francisco Chronicle Wine Competition. So this year.
Thank you, Bobby. Yeah. Wonderful.
So thank you, Jet.
Awesome. Yeah, cheers. I've about drank all mine. I finally opened up and I started consuming.
I think it's perfect time to then transition over to the 2017.
Oh, a
Yeah,
wonderful year.
Jed, if we see a tsunami coming over your shoulder, are we going to say anything, or what do we do, troops? What
I think Taylor would change the loop. If you haven't done yet, go ahead and pour yourself a little of the 2017 Dolcetto. If you'd like to join us with the tasting. And Rebecca, would you lead us off on this one?
I would love to. I poured myself more than a little of a glass of the 2017. And
Completely different nose.
it really is
Totally.
so completely different. I get a lot more plum on this one than I got on the last one. And I get some almost like a brewed tea or like an herbal tea on this one, which is really interesting. And I did not get that at all on the 18. Yeah, I'm liking this a lot.
I'm with Rebecca on that. I get almost like a brewed chamomile tea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Side notes of eucalyptus.
Yes.
I don't want tea at your house.
You're not
Chamomile.
invited. It's because it's time to go to bed.
It's time to go to bed. I absolutely love the 17,
Mm-hmm.
but 17, I think we've talked about this enough over the last several months. I think everybody's probably going to get tired of us harping on how good we think 17 is.
I
Well,
really
But
think
it's
this has,
good.
it was. I really think this has a silkiness on the mouthfeel as well, on the palate. It's just very, very silky and easy drinking.
Yes.
But that is also dangerous. Isn't this fairly hefty on the alcohol?
No,
No, this one's not.
No, it's
Um,
The alcohol's about the same on each one.
Yeah, maybe the last one was a tad higher, just a hair, just
Yeah.
a teeny.
This one's 15%.
Oh,
Nothing.
No, it's 14.5.
Oh,
Yeah.
14.5. Okay.
Yeah, the 18 was 14.8.
That means it gets pretty ripe, right? Nice sugar accumulation on that one. All
Mhm.
of them. Yeah. But to me, the body on this one is a little bit lighter. The mouth, the palate on it, a little bit more raspberries, more of the bright red fruits on it,
Right.
as opposed to the 18 that had more darker, plummy kind of things.
Mhm. So Doc, what do you think of the 17?
It's almost too good to talk about. I mean, you just want you just want to taste it.
Right.
I think it's just it's one of our best wines that we've made. Bobby, how did this do in competition?
91 points, gold medal at 2019 San Francisco International Wine Competition.
It's not bad. Wow. Gosh,
Did this one get a gold at the San Francisco International and the Chronicle?
I
No.
believe
international, I thought.
Everyone?
Hold, please. I'll double check.
I know, I'm like, that's what I wrote down. I might be wrong. I might get really talking about writing all of the notes down all the time.
Someday we're going to have all this in a database.
We do. That's what I'm pulling up.
So this has more tannic structure.
yeah, it does.
Yes, it does.
Right.
Rachel, you're right. It got a golden
Oh my
vote.
God. Wait,
Oh, I
hold
thought
on.
you said she was right.
Rachel was absolutely correct. This wine received a gold in both the San Francisco International and in the San Francisco Chronicle.
Cool.
I mean, I guess that's all right.
I mean,
John, Rachel, any blending with any of these wines? Or are they all 100% Dolcetto?
Now this
they
is
are not.
the only one that's 100% is the 2015. So the 2017 is 95, well, 95% Dolcetto and 5% Cunwa.
And what about the 18?
The 18 was 90% Dolcetto. Rachel, do you have that handy? Hold on, I can pull it up.
I do. Yes, so it is 95% Dolcetto, 2.5% Petite Syrah, and 2.5% more bed. And it's probably that little bit of more bed that gives it that kind of funkiness on the nose at the beginning.
Yeah, the
Right.
raw meat. Yeah,
Yeah.
raw meat.
Yeah, I'm really liking the nose on the 2017 right now, a lot.
Yeah.
Me
It's
too.
but I've noticed the Cunwa actually does that, mutes the native cranberry that's that I find in Dolcetto on its own, and it comes out as a red fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I really like Dolcetto because of that natural cranberry edge to it. It's one of the few wines that has it in a
I
large.
think this one got harvested closer to St. Matthew's Day. Jeff, do you remember how close you were to St. Matthew's Day when you were out there harvesting?
Were you in the third week of September when you harvested this, Joe? Or I mean, Jet.
Yes.
I know in 17 we let most of the fruit hang a little bit longer just because the way the weather was, it allowed for us the sugars didn't climb crazy fast, and it just hung on, and to me, it was a perfect grape growing wine making year.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Right.
So
we
it
kind
could have
of-
been the third week of September instead of the 10th of September, like the others.
Every other day of harvest.
Right. Well, I just remember 17 coming in and how incredibly rich it was on this fruit.
I just remember the numbers that you guys were bringing in 17. You know, the amount of tonnage that was coming through the winery from all over every day. I just couldn't believe how much you guys were bringing in and processing and getting through there. It was pretty incredible to see. It's a lot going on.
I can hardly wait for that to happen again.
I don't blame you, Jet.
That makes two of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John, I love that everybody's memories are how lovely 2017 was and the big numbers and all this glorious fruit, and nobody's brought up angry cellar crew people and mean looks on our faces and maybe not the nicest of words we sometimes have. I like that
It didn't exist.
the time makes the
We were
painful.
perfect. We were angels. We were.
Trying to focus on the positive, man.
This is our English chair. Sorry.
Somebody mute Rachel. So we
Rachel?
mean Rachel, listen to me. Listen, we
Hear your
were
words.
perfect. We were nice.
This is the result in the class.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right.
I think we just all saw how busy you guys were in 17, and we tried really hard to stay clear because we knew it had to have been just crazy rough.
True. Yeah.
You know, I always like to point out, we talk about how busy we are in the cellar, and we are. I mean, I'm not denying that we are super, super busy, but I'd like to point out these beautiful growers of ours. Grapes are just one of the crops, and they leave and they go on to peanuts, and maybe they do a little cotton and they do something else, they do something. So we talk about our very long harvest season of, 6-8 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks usually. Jet, how long is your harvest season?
I think the longest stretch that I stayed up without any sleep was like 53 hours or something like that.
Holy moly.
Just,
Fine.
yeah, that's during my younger year, a few years ago. But yeah, those years where we had a big harvest, a lot of fruit. So before I got into grapes heavy duty, I was doing watermelons, hay, and I had to quit watermelon and hay and just concentrate on grapes because it was going to kill me at an early age. And then I didn't realize what I was doing to myself by planting more and more grapes. I was continuing to try to kill myself. But you got to do what you got to do. And yes, we put in some long, because it's not just the harvest time at night. We do it all night long. But then as soon as you're through with that, you got to gear up and start working on the next night's harvest. And do we have enough bins? Is everybody going to go home and get some sleep except me? Because I've got to line up the trucks, make sure the trucks are going to get here on time. A whole lot of stuff, just logistics. And sometimes it's a little bit of a nightmare. Now, Mr. Alan Eckert, back in the day, he was my hero several times. He came through and he showed up smiling. And I said, you need some sleep because you're acting silly. Get in the cab of your truck. And he would laugh and he'd say, I'm used to this. And I said, I'm trying to get used to it, but I'm just, anyway, all the stories, I've got stories upon stories of what's going on at harvest time, trying to communicate with the harvesting crew, okay, we're going from this stop where you're at. We've already filled plenty of bins. We can't handle anymore. Go to the next variety. We've got another winery to satisfy. The most we ever harvested it in one night was 4 semi-loads.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then if I remember right, the very next night we harvested 3 more semi-loads.
So
and that is,
it's a lot. So basically you're sending out between 20 and 23 tons per semi-load.
yeah, not 23 tons per semi-load. Yep.
right.
And it makes for a pretty long night. The harvest crew, they get we rotate guys on the harvester because we got, you're up there and you're turning your head and you're trying to, you're standing on the row and they get seasick. because it's at night. You got reflections in the cab from all the lights and the computer screens. And then you're looking down and you're trying to, and you're checking the cameras to see what the shaker bars are doing. And so we have to rotate guys to try to keep them fresh on their toes. If they're not able to do the job, they're not able to do the job for whatever reason. And I'm on the forklift, and I know one night they were hollering at me because I had gone to sleep and leaned over, and luckily I have enough mass that I pushed on the brake pedal more than and so I slowly come to a stop. Yeah, some of the stuff.
I'm glad you came to us, Scott Pumpkin. I'm glad you came.
Yeah, they come over and gently put it into neutral, and I got a little nap for about 10 minutes or 5 or whatever it was. But
So glad.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jet, you have another vote of confidence. One of our viewers said, "So happy that death did not occur. Thank you, Jet, for sticking around." And
well, it's not a death defying of, it's just that I would have eased off into the dark, very slowly.
so, Jet, just remember, John Wayne never rode a forklift into the sunset.
Well, I have. I've been on a horse and rode into the sunset. I've done a lot.
Okay. So any other comments about the 2017 wine?
Okay, so it's finally opening up, because I didn't get to open mine and let it aerate very long. I came from the doctor straight here, and I'm just now, and that is awesome. Wow.
I'm really liking the herbal note, a little bit of subdued cola under the edge there. So
yes,
that's
yeah.
That is perfect. Okay, guys, you've tasted 2 out of the 3. So we're going to go to the 3rd one, and this is where we're going to have you rank them. So keep that in mind. Yeah, I know, Rebecca. Look at that little look you gave me. And Rebecca, you're going to have to come up with 2 dishes at least to go with. Yeah, you got it. All right. So if there are no other questions about that, grab your glass and swirl the 15. Give it a swirl, a sniff, and a taste.
Beautiful. Boy.
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of vine ripened cheese edge on this one. Excuse me, rind ripened cheese, not vine.
I was fixing to say vine. Okay.
Not know
That's a
that
new one.
you grew on vine.
I grow cheese. I don't make it. No.
We don't want to hear any details about
Yes.
that.
Thanks, Dr. Becker.
Reminds me of a film I saw when I was in basic training.
Here's somebody mute him quick.
Dr. Richard Becker.
Oh.
Yeah. I used to think medicine was hard, Brett. Jed, until you describe these harvests. It sounds like being on call. I mean, all night.
Yeah.
So Gary just volunteered to pay 5 times the amount for his bottle of wine.
He's
Yeah.
doing the right thing.
Not on his account.
And Gary, you thought I wasn't paying attention.
I think I have his account up right now.
Yeah, right?
Thank you, Bobby.
There's not many people can find that account.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So, Doc, would you lead us off on the 15, sir?
Basic training in the Navy. Yeah, I'll be glad to tell you about that.
Hey, oh, Jiminy. There we go.
No, this is gosh, another great wine. Bobby, Rachel, how do we do in competition with this wine?
No, this one is so fantabulous. I don't even care what anybody else thinks about it, Doc. We know it's amazing. But I will say my only notes on it is that 2017 San Francisco International got a silver. Anyone else want to back me up on that?
That's it. That's what
Yeah.
we did.
That was it.
They were wrong.
They
Because
were.
this is, I think,
Yeah.
did I just rank it? This is probably my favorite of all of them.
I agree with you.
It's
Yeah.
also an emotional basis of like choosing your favorite child.
Right.
2015 was our very first one. It's my favorite.
I remember there was a story about Guy Stout, I think.
There's a lot of stories about Guy Stout. We have to be careful.
I'm not allowed to do any of them.
Dr. Becker, would you care to elaborate on that, or no?
No. But I love this wine. I agree with Rachel.
Wasn't he at a barbecue?
Uh,
I bet he's been to a barbecue too.
Yeah.
absolutely. So, Jet, how did these grapes come into our possession? What was the actual mechanism for? Because when we started the 2015 growing season, we were not expecting the Dolcetto, and yet Rachel and I woke up one morning, opened the backs of a big truck door, and there, instead of Zinfandel, was Dolcetto. So what happened, buddy?
I just said, there's no way they'll turn this down.
You're right.
There it is.
You're absolutely right. There's no way we'd turn down just about anything that you sent us. So, and I'm holding off on orange muscat. I'm drawing the line.
Easy, easy. Now you're throwing down the gauntlet, buddy. You're slapping me with the glove.
Is that the duel?
Uh,
Yeah.
well, I personally love orange muscat. So, so how did what was the story behind this? So was it Doc or Joe or Brett that you talked to first about the Dolcetto?
No, I talked to Brett, but he turned me down. He said, no, Dr. Becker will not. No. We've got, you know, he's the, you know, he's like, we can't handle, we've got already set up. And I was like, oh my goodness. Okay. I got to go to the top dog here. And
That he called Rachel.
Yeah, and I would have been the wrong one because my response to John and Brett, whenever we discussed it in the cellar, was, "What are we going to do with Dolcetto? We're a Bordeaux house. We don't do Dolcetto, except for now we do."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we do. And so basically, Jet, what you're saying is one parent said no, so you went to the other one. What?
yeah,
Yeah.
I learned that a long time ago.
Yeah. I think we've all learned that lesson at some point.
And not only do we do Dolcetto, but we do Dolcetto very well.
You
do.
We all have a hand in it, and it's, I mean, awesome.
So somebody just asked what happened to the 2016 Dolcetto. And Barry, to answer your question, we did get 2016 Dolcetto, and it sits in a beautiful blend called Culinaria. So
No,
No.
John, I am going to
that's
call
right.
you
It's
out.
D'Estate.
Nope.
The
It's the-
16 D'Estate.
yeah, D'Estate, sorry,
Yep.
This is in
and Barbera
and Merlot.
and Merlot.
Yeah, and it is a beautiful blend.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
it's
one of my
formed the
favorites.
backbone of one of our very first real Super Tuscan. So
And what a great time for a great plug, because
Yep.
we are just about to pull the very last of that from the tasting room. So if you want, you better grab it now.
yeah, that D'Estate, the 16 D'Estate is absolutely fantastic. Anyway, so that answers that question. I do want to get back to the 15 because one, this is 100% Dolcetto. It's aged. I think the cranberry comes out in this wine
Yeah,
really
I agree.
good
Yeah.
now, and I really, really like it. And I also want to tell people to drink it up now. I think we're
You
hitting
think it won't last a little bit longer?
a year, maybe two, but I don't think much longer after that. No.
I've been really, really impressed with how well it's aged over the last, we're now going on 6 whole years with this one.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's I love the kind of herbal edge on there, but then the cranberry comes out. There is,
And sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. I get really excited about it, really excited to continue with what Rebecca was saying about the tea in the 2017. To me, this one expresses so much more tea and the cranberry notes. And yeah. Okay, John, talk about how fun it is whenever you get to walk into a cellar and not even have to blend the wine, and you just get to pull it out of the barrel and go.
well, I never just pull it out of the barrel and go. We try to blend, but then you keep going back to the fact that it was perfect on its own. And then, and luckily, Dr. Becker walks in the winery, tastes it. He goes, I think we should just bottle this. Now, it is, of
How
course,
cool is that?
yeah, it is very cool. Yeah,
Not very.
if he finds a barrel that he likes, he wants me to bottle that barrel. So then we have to say there are 40 of these barrels. Will they all go together? So when you decide
Down.
when
Yeah.
you decide to do that, you have to take down all those barrels, and then I go through and taste each one and smell each one as the guys are racking it into tank to make sure that and I've done it multiple times. And Rachel's found them too. There's a possibility that one of the barrels could be just slightly off or a little funky. You're not quite sure what it is. So you keep it aside until you can investigate further. But it turns out that this wine just practically made itself. Jet, I have a curiosity question for you, and it probably won't mean much to most everybody else, but what's the vine density on this particular block?
990 vines per acre.
Okay.
11 foot between rows.
Okay.
4
That
foot
makes
between.
Yeah. So when because we forget, we talk about tons per acre, but we forget to mention that part of that equation is density and how much fruit load is taking on there, because I really truly believe the 15 had optimal ripeness to it. As much as the 17 was beautifully ripe, I think optimal ripeness was in the 15. And that is my favorite of the three.
Beautiful.
My favorite also.
Of a year that you were gonna just let grapes land on our crush pad, just let them land. Before
It was
we
the
were
year.
100%, this was a good year to do it.
Yes.
This was a good year to lure us in.
Mhm.
You tricked us well.
Careful.
Well,
No
good thing
orange.
Doc was on call.
I think orange muscat is showing up this year.
I thought we
Oh my
were
God.
friends with that guy.
We don't have a still yet, so we can't make brandy.
Oh. Oh.
They're easy to make.
Yes, sir. Yeah, grapes, I'm sure, are very easy to make.
Go great with our cigars, John.
Well, there you go. Absolutely. Speaking of, so sensory, guys, I need input. Rebecca.
Sensory?
Yeah.
Well, I think honestly, the big ones have already been said. The great cranberry is really coming through on this one. The herbal tea note. I get some of that mustiness that we talk about a lot of times from our wines that have been in bottle for a while. So you get, especially initially on the nose, you get that musty, forest flory sort of really great note. And that doesn't stay the whole time. It definitely kind of wafts away, and it's very minute after it's been opened up for a while. And I get that herbal tea note. And I really, really like this one. It is lighter. I actually want to point out the color. The color difference on this one is significant. And I think that kind of goes to John, what you were saying about maybe a couple more years, this one aging, but the dramatic difference in the color kind of goes to that, or kind of walks that same hand. Is that how that works?
Yeah, I'm looking at the meniscus, and the meniscus is starting to brown. That doesn't necessarily preclude the idea that the wine won't last. I've had several brilliant 40 and 50-year-old wines with a brown meniscus, but this, Dolcetto has some tannin, structure, much more than Barbera. Barbera doesn't last that long. I mean, 5-6 years on peak on Barbera, where Dolcetto will last a little longer. But it's just my personal opinion. I think the 15 is hitting its peak, and like we've hit peak Dolcetto.
Dolcetto, I like that.
Yeah, on this particular vintage. A couple more years, but I think we'll start losing the fruit within a couple of years, and much more storage. So I just advocate, if you have the 15, put it in the drink now section of your cellar and have a few great glasses. Just make sure of one thing, that you share it with some beautiful people in your life.
Amen.
So because I don't know about you, Jet, but I always love to hear when people experience with the wine that we make about who they were with. that, you know, and how it was fun to be with so-and-so. Haven't seen these friends. We popped open a bottle of this, or we had a great dinner, and it just, the wine was there. We had a good time. I like the fact that wine accentuates the social gathering. That doesn't, you know.
I have to tell you, John, of course, when I went up to see my family for the first time in over a year, I took a case of our wines, a wonderful allotment. And I had 3 different family groups that I was visiting and had specific wines for each family group,
Right.
and dropped them all off. And it makes it, you're right, it just makes it very, very special. And it's one of those things that I really enjoy, and I've enjoyed experiencing that working at Becker, you know, understanding that and getting to have those sort of experiences with people have been really great. And my parents, living so far away, they're really big fans of Becker wines, not just because I work there, but because the wines are just absolutely fantastic. And so when I showed up with the suitcase with wine in it, my mom was very excited. I honestly think she was just as excited about the wine as she was about me.
Well, you know, I have to tell you something that I've learned recently about wine is that after your vaccination, if you drink wine, it blocks the signal of the microchip they put in you.
So when you
What
go
I
to,
said at all. I said you should drink wine when you go get your vaccinations because the alcohol helps move the vaccine through the body.
Yes.
Oh,
The blood thinner
In
allows
the
it
blood.
to move
Let it
faster.
go.
hey,
Yeah.
I like my conspiracy theory better.
so you can't pay with your hand at Amazon or Whole
Yeah.
Foods.
Right. Exactly.
Didn't feel like anything done.
So, you know, if you're very much into humorous memes, we won't go into it. I'll let everybody find it themselves, but go look for the meme with vaccine and Bill Gates as of this morning. You'll like it. It's funny as all get out.
Are they
Anyway,
getting a divorce?
we won't talk about that. That's not our business.
Yes.
Our business. What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
It
okay.
happens.
So,
Oh, so yeah, I love that the people I'm associated with now, they say, can you come back soon and bring more wine? So I'm finally popular.
you know, Jet, I had the fortune to go to a Episcopal church in Sonoma County, California for a few years. And one of the things I enjoyed about it, you could tell we were in the middle of wine country because the sacramental wine changed every few weeks. And at Christmas, and we were there for celebrating Christmas Mass, and the sacramental wine, if we took communion, was Dolcetto. So
Awesome.
I will tell you, it's the only church I know that comes with a wine list.
I feel like I just heard all of the churches of South Texas grunt and go, not just like Spanish port?
Well, yeah, I know, right? No, there's something more to life. Yeah.
One of y'all is missing out.
Exactly. So maybe Jesus was Italian.
Hey,
Okay.
Okay.
All righty. Food time, guys. Well, first, actually, let's rate. Rebecca, I'm going to start with you. Can you rate 1, 2, and 3 your favorite?
I think it goes 15, 17, 18 for me. And that doesn't mean that I don't like the 18. I just really, really love the 15 and the 17 right now. And I think the 18 will be just as glorious as it continues to age. But I just like those aged notes on those a little bit.
You know how we can tell that we are Americans? We think third place means you don't like it.
I know.
That's what I love. I love that. Absolutely. We are very competitive. So Jet, rate the wines 1, 2, and 3 in order that you prefer them.
She took my thunder. Yeah. 15, 17, 18.
Okay.
18 will come into its, in time.
Okay.
I think 15's got 4 more years of goodness, greatness in it, and then maybe it fades. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, 15 is, well, it's 100%.
Yeah.
What can I say? I like it when it's.
Okay.
I love you winemaker types that don't destroy a wine. You just let it come into its own, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
We'll try not to destroy any, I promise. Yeah. So, Bobby, what rate in order of preference?
Oh, it's so tough. I think I'm going 15, 18, 17.
Okay, 15, 18, 17. All right.
Yeah. I think with the age, with the 18, I think it's gotten so much deeper fruit to it since it's matured. So I think that that's just, I think it's gonna, that those deeper fruit notes and the darker, like the denseness to it is just gonna showcase even brighter later. So
Okay, I just fell in love with this person who just made a comment, and she stated that we just had these wines with fajitas for Cinco de Mayo, 15, 17, 18. Now I know what I'm eating for dinner.
Yep.
Okay, Rachel.
That brings up a really good point. Would you have paired this with fajitas, like off the whim?
You know, my unfortunate problem is the only thing I will never pair with wine are lima beans because I'll never eat a lima bean. So, well, Rachel, or in order of preference.
15, 17, 18.
Okay, Doc.
Ditto, 5, 7, 8. Yeah.
5, 7, 8.
Wonderful.
Fantastic. Okay, now comes the real challenge. Jet, what dish would you pair with your dolcetto?
And now nobody can say fajitas. Pick something new.
Do
Hmm.
you want me to come back to you?
Yes.
Okay, Rebecca.
Okay, I have a couple.
Mhm.
So I'm a sucker for the dolcetto and pasta. I really am. I think a great bolognese would be really nice. I think something that's completely different, almost something that's heavy on the Parmesan would be fun. And I apologize in advance for what I'm about to say, but I had a frozen pepperoni pizza last night. I mean, I put it in the oven, so it wasn't frozen when I ate it, but a frozen pepperoni pizza.
Oh, good, you're not a 15-year-old boy.
It would have paired beautifully with the dolcetto.
Right?
I find nothing wrong with that, Rebecca. Yeah, champagne and potato chips are a good standby too, if you're ever curious. So, Bobby, what do you think? What dish?
Ratatouille.
Oh,
Yeah.
going old school.
Yeah, I do a ratatouille.
Okay, the French and the Italians are both going to look at you with raised eyebrows.
Yeah.
Doc,
Isn't that the way they always look at us?
exactly.
This reminds me of, I think one of the most wonderful tours I ever had in Italy was, it was called Food and Wine Tasting in Italy. And every day we would stop at a farmhouse somewhere in Italy, usually in small rural areas. And we would go inside, and the woman of the house would be making lunch for us. And she would be making the pasta fresh there with all the tomatoes and all the things, she would oil and so forth. And it would always be some sort of a pasta and tomato and meat, but different every day. But so wonderful to be in those little kitchens. And always they would bring in the wine that they made at that farm. And it would have been just such an honor to have been able to bring any one of these wines in and put it down the table and say, here's a Texas Italian variant, and to match that with this incredible food that was being cooked right in front of us. You know, there would be a little mound of dough, and I don't know how to do any of that, but she certainly did. And we probably had that happen 7 days in a row. It was just the greatest experience. Not expensive at all, just a treat. You had to find the farmhouse. That was a trick. But once you did that, it was good.
I'm sorry you had such a hard week there, Dr. Becker.
Yeah.
I've had other weeks, John. But those were nice. That was a nice one.
So, Rachel.
I have to say, along with the Italian dishes and pasta, for 2 years of keto-ish living, one of my favorite things to prepare and pair with the dolcetto, and it really is one of my favorite things to pair with the dolcetto, is it's a turkey with zucchini and summer squash and roasted tomatoes. And the zucchini is, don't tell my daughter, she hates it so much, zoodles. I love them so much. They're so good.
Yeah, zoodles are great.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
who does not think so? And she'd
Yeah.
fight you.
Now we know what we're going to get her for her birthday.
Yes.
There's a
So-
lot of other things on the list.
Right. So Jet, have you come up with a dish, sir?
Yes. So I can remember back when we had a Carino's in Lubbock. And my favorite dish, and I believe especially this 15 would have paired exactly right with spicy Romano chicken with the artichokes and those sun-dried tomatoes in there.
Yeah.
And that wonderful hot bread with that, the spices they put in the oil.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Okay. Well,
Sure.
I'm gonna follow suit with Rebecca and have two dishes because the first one, Angela, and I don't know if she's on tonight or not. If she isn't and she watches later, this is for you, Angela, because you've inspired me to find something vegetarian for each wine. I tried to anyway. So an endive salad with fennel and blood orange, I think would go very well. The citrus would do very well with that. But back to the dish that I think would do very, very well is foie gras poached in walnut broth with baby morel mushrooms. If you've not had that, it's absolutely fantastic. And that would go well with the dolcetto.
When are you making that, John?
I'm not. I'll send you a pic. I'll send you a text with a picture of the wine going in about 10 minutes before service.
Okay, he stole your duck line.
No,
Yes. I
no.
know.
He said no duck allowed, and then look what he did.
Yeah.
Foie gras comes from goose as much as it does duck, so take it easy there. I prefer.
Rachel, do the one eyebrow raise at him.
Yeah. Mm.
I'm doing both.
Okay, but guys, there is
All
one
right.
recipe book I feel like I need to share with you. It's this one. Can you see it?
Oh no.
The Campbell Soup's cookbook from 1955.
Yes.
Because
Oh my
there's a sausage breakfast bake in the back with hot dogs and cornmeal and cream of cheddar cheese soup that would probably go pretty well with this wine, don't you think?
Yeah.
That's canned cheddar cheese soup. It's canned nacho cheese
Yeah.
soup. I probably had it in my youth. There was probably a time in my youth.
Doc, are you okay there?
Hey, there are over 8,000 delicious recipes in this cookbook that's only like 50 pages long.
No, it's canned.
Boy, stacking it.
Okay there, Dr. Becker.
I think. So now I'm going to have to say, how did you get fired as winemaker? Well, it started with the Campbell's cookbook.
That's the camping cookbook.
So, Bobby, save my job and tell us what we're going to do next week.
We have 317 Cabernet Sauvignons that we're tasting. So we have the 2017 Wilmouth Family Cab. We have the 2017 Canada Family Cab, and then our 2017 Texas Reserve that's in distribution. So three different
That's
Texas
fun.
cabs, which really excited about next week.
Me too.
That will be awesome. Okay. And Rebecca, any wine club news for us to?
Lots.
Okay.
So Wine Club May shipment starts being processed tomorrow, actually. And then next week, like Bobby said, we have those 3 fantastic cabs. And then for the 3 weeks following that, we'll be tasting through our Wine Club selections for May. So we'll have our standard Becker Club, and then we'll do our white wines club, and then we'll finish up with our red wines club. And so we've got all of those to taste through. So if you're a member of the Becker Standard Club and want to taste through those, great. And then go ahead and grab the red wines and the white wines too, and see what we've got in all of those. And I think it'll be a lot of fun. It's always fun going through those, and we've got a lot of new releases coming out. We have 3 new releases being shipped out to the wine club in the May shipment. So those next few virtual tastings and shipments are going to be a lot of fun to go through and taste. So yay, we're excited about those.
That sounds fantastic. And we're also going to be promoting our 2022 cruise in Burgundy and Upper Rhone.
There will be a flyer in your shipment.
Fantastic. So if there's no other news, Jet, you looks like you need to say something.
Yes. So when we do French wines, do you have a picture of France?
Yes, we do. It's a little mouse with a chef's hat on it.
Oh, you don't change the map behind you.
Now, why would I change this beautiful map when it showcases where that dolcetto originated from?
Amen. Amen. I love it.
Actually, this is the last week I get to stay in my corner. My wife has already told me I have to vacate this particular part of the house and
What?
come up with something new. I know. Yeah.
Ah.
Apparently, I've spread out all the way through the living rooms. All righty, guys. I
love what all y'all do all the time. Thank y'all very much for allowing me to join in. And I know I don't always come through like I should, but I'm trying.
That
Judd,
is true.
we love everything you do, and we absolutely want to say thank you for taking time to join us today. And
Absolutely, Jet. And to Kay too. Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. So cheers, everyone. Good health, a good glass of wine, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for letting us into your living rooms for another hour. Cheers.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys. Nice.